Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another interesting video this time in a Duramax LLY FICM. This is actually a refurbished unit that I'm making for Dan Clark in Hawaii. He sent me a few pictures of his unit and I said, I'm sorry, but that is not repairable. I told him, let me see if I can find one because those are actually very hard to find. There's a lot of scammers trying to sell units on eBay as refurbished. Please try to stay away from them because if you see in my channel, I have warns about that and videos on other customers. Andy from Florida, I forgot the name of the other customers. There's like 3 or 4 customers that were that way because of the difference on price. Obviously, I mean, they're not doing anything. They're actually just making it like communicate if possible. And then they promise you that they'd repair it, that they connect it to a car and it ran for 20 minutes. Andy got 4 units, all junk, until finally I found one for him. And now his truck is back running after 2 years of a story going back and forth with those companies, has lost the money. He's still fighting them. And then the other person, which just look into I have a playlist for the Silverados and the FICMs, and you can see what I'm talking about. Same thing with him. He lost like 2 months of testing because they told him, no, we run it in a truck for 20 hours. That unit is fully refurbished. When I got it here, I opened it in a video for him. It was a joke. I mean, they put like incorrect parts inside and they welded with hot glue. I mean, the board was completely destroyed. The jumper was across and shorted. I mean, that was, a complete joke. And yeah, that's what you get with those companies. Make sure if you go in eBay and try to get a used one, let's say, to send to me for repairs, because I would recommend, even if you get a unit that it wasn't a working truck, you have to understand those are 20, 25 years old modules. It's like a ticking bomb. Those capacitors that I'm going to show you here, they're about to explode. And if they haven't, it's a good unit. It will be repairable. This is exactly what I got for Dan. So let me show you. I'm going to be first showing you his unit on pictures, our conversation a little bit, and his approval for the repairs finally. Because he felt, and I understand you don't know me. All you can see is reviews and stuff like that, but you're in the best hands. I am a completely transparent and honest person. I told Dan, please, because he's like, oh, Mike, I'm ready to do the payment yesterday. Can I give you the card over the phone? I'm like, no, please don't do that. Because let me just send you a link for payment. I like that your information is secret. You're the only one that is dealing with in the bank. And I'm Mike Salazar, because I am an honest person and I know that I would not do anything, but then you can expose yourself if you do that. If you give your credit card with your CVV and address, they might be able to use it. Yes, you can claim that as a suspicious and everything. I still try not to put yourself into that. I always recommend that to customers. And what I usually do too, and I explain this to them, don't ever use a debit card to perform payments online. Use your credit card. Credit cards are protected, fraud protected. Debit cards are not. So be careful with that, all right? Because I'm always trying to steer my customers the right way, and you, my viewers, as well. All right, so let me go over to the pictures. Well, this is the new unit or used unit that I'm going to refurbish for Dan. And I can see it. I haven't done anything. All I'm going to show is that is indeed a very nice and clean unit, complete, even comes with the bumpers, where the groomers are going to hold the control unit in the body cover. And you can see, which is nice and clean, no damage. These are the blue capacitors, the original capacitors that comes with the unit. And it's nice and clean, no damage. I haven't even try it, but I did myself a promise that I would not connect any of these modules until I perform the normal repair first to make sure that it's not going to explode in my face, because those capacitors are like a little firecracker, and I mean, they will smoke and throw acid everywhere in my desk and they can hurt me. And I'm always wearing safety glasses, but I don't want that to happen. So that's what I don't stop doing that, and I'm going to do from a period of time ago on the normal repairs. If the unit works perfect, if it still is cutting injectors, and I have to change the pre-driver. And I explained that to all the customers. It's two different prices, the normal repairs and then the extra repair, which is just a component for the pre-driver for the injectors, is very expensive. And I don't usually change that because it's a part that can last 100 years. It only gets damaged when injectors get shorted and it passes. It's a vehicle that keeps going and keeps going, and the people keep trying and they end up burning that. But it's no visual damage. It's an electrical component. So I don't know that until I test. So, all right. So let me show you the pictures. I'm going to go over to the end folder with you. I have removed some of his information for obvious reasons, right? So his email, all you will see is his name. So these are the first conversation and pictures he sent me. He's like, hey, Mike, here are the photos you requested. You are my last hope. No matter, please let me know what my options are from here going forward. His truck has been parked for 9 months. Dealer told him to replace this and replace that and replace this and replace that. And they had done pretty much everything. Until finally he took the FICM out and contacted me and got the FICM out, and it's like, yeah, this is definitely not repairable. I tell him, it's like, I'm sorry, but this is not repairable. You can see his email is Dan and Sharon Clark, him and his wife. So I'm going to show you also the pictures now that I have, from him, where we are able to see this completely burned area right here next to the microprocessor. That is a hole through. We can see the other side of the board. This is Andre, where this is exploded, burnt. That is already carbonized. It's impossible to repair that. That is next to the microprocessor. This is the busiest area of the complete board. Let me see if I have a closest picture. I think this is the closest one. This is a very busy area, not just on the top layer. As you see, all these lines that connect from the microprocessor through the memory. And this board is a multi-layer board, so there is a lot of lines under it in power layer, ground layer, firewall reference layer, that it will be impossible to repair, especially when this happens. It's not just a fire, it's also an acid. That acid will go inside. It's a fluid, right? And that material is kind of like a fiber that will absorb that, and it will go inside the entire board. It's just pretty much impossible to repair. He's like, Mike, can we use this for something? I'm like, realistically, for me, it has absolutely no value. No, absolutely no. This is a completely compromised module. So even the microprocessor, as you see, which is pretty much the only part that I will probably try to reuse, or maybe the coil. I mean, you can save it then if you want to, but I mean, realistically, it's not really worth for anything for me. And what else we have? Okay, so yesterday, this is the conversation. He was still having a conversation with me, and he asked me, it's like, Mike, I can see the prices on eBay and orders less expensive than yours. I said, Dan, yeah, and this is where I was explaining you at first about all those scammers and everything, which, again, don't take my word. Just go and watch my videos and you will see what I'm talking about. I said, I have a FICM for you and it's ready. I need to know in order to complete the full repair if you're moving forward. As per the recondition units you find online, I can say that there is a lot of scammers that will take your money and then you will need to fight to get your money back. I have 4 customers that follow that route and lost thousands of dollars to end up coming back to me for a real repair. There is no other company in the market that offers the transparency and knowledge as I do, and that actually perform and replace the necessary components. Ask the other company for the list of components they replace on the unit, pictures of the repairs, and a video of the fully repaired unit running with real injectors. None. There's no one company. All they say, oh yeah, we connected it into a car. And I say that to him. No one does that. No one does it. All they will say to you is that they run the FICM on a truck for 20 hours. A total lie. Because they told that to Andy and to other customers. That unit couldn't even run. It was a joke. It was a completely, go and watch the videos. I put the scammers and some other that you will be, these are the links, but obviously this is a picture because I sent to him. Please look at these videos I made from those customers. Some sent me 4 reconditioned units that were a joke, and I have to charge a test fee. And I said, please, because he was asking, what if I get one and you test it for me, and then if it's repairable, I said, well, yeah, you're going to get it for well, I can always return it. I'm like, yeah, it's going to cost you $200 every time you test one, because I'm sorry, but yeah, it's my time. I have to get compensated. And I'm here to help my customers, but at the end of the day, I'm also a business. So I'm trying to steer them to do it with me, because I know that when I do it, it's done. And he actually finally did. And you can see that. Thank you for being patient with my need. To know why and how I need to proceed with your expertise in recondition 2004.5 Duramax 6.6 FICM. He said, I will call you now and issue a payment for your recondition of the FICM. I was concerned about, you can read that. And he did the payment and everything is done. And I said, up in the upper section, you said, hi, and I sent you the link from Clover TD Bank with the link for payment and the invoice. I will need you to send me a copy of the driver license. And sometimes I request that, especially for the amount and if you're not present, because I will need to be also protected as far as, if a credit card company or somebody refuses to charge and I have your ID, your conversations, your approval, there is no deny that I'm not a scammer, because I have 2 occasions where customers refuse the charge after like 4 to 5 months, and they said there was a suspicious transaction that they never approved, so they don't know what it was. So, and of course they knew, and I won the cases and I got my money back. But that's why I've been doing this, to protect myself, and I always go the other way around to protect you and my customers. Don't give me the information, but yeah, an ID copy, I need it for the records and protect myself, especially when it's a big amount that it can hurt me, right? But yes, all this went good, and I said I will be doing the video for you tomorrow and ship the unit the next day. And that's what I'm doing now, a video for him, and then you can feel the same trust that he is going to feel, because I told Dan, when you connect this to your truck, it will be running 100%. You will have no more issues. All right, so this is those pictures, and I have now the same unit that you see in the desk. I always take this for my records and his, where you can see the unit completely open and nice and clean, looking like brand new. Yeah, everyone was saying, my unit looks like brand new. Yeah, brand new, 21 years old. These capacitors need to be replaced immediately. And this is where those units that you buy used or refurbish, they don't do the correct work. Or if it's a used one, you're going to have to spend the money to repair it. And that is if you want that piece or that unit to last. Otherwise, it's going to explode as the one in your truck did. So I taken, the covers so we can have the part numbers and everything. I also, show that no burns, spots in either of the covers or in the unit. And then the bottom, just to show that the unit was, nice and clean, as this is a very nice, and it's not that somebody power wash it or anything. This is a nice and clean unit. All right, guys, so now that I have this, I'm going to proceed with the repairs and normal repairs. And when I come back, I will have it connected and then doing the test for you and Dan. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, the repairs are done. I'm going to actually move you. Let me get all that stuff out of the picture so I can show you some of the repair pictures I got for him as well. Meter and full probe. This, I think, it's just a one picture, if I remember properly. I don't know where we left. I think you guys saw the board out. Yeah. It's just a one picture, and this is for my records and his records as well. All right, so this is all the capacitors removed, and I'm ready with all the components in there. But you can see how the board is nice and clean. In here, there is no acid. I mean, this board is like brand new. So this is a perfect, good board, good unit that will last for a very long time. All right, so let's get back to here and let me start the test, right? So I'm going to put the oscilloscope. I'm going to put the full probe and the SUS just to connect. In the oscilloscope, I have 2 channels right now connected to one to each side, 1 injector per bank. Like that, we will see when those are running. And I put measurement values on the bottom so you can see the maximum voltage of those 2 outputs. All right, so let me just get into the full probe. Yeah, let me run it first. So let me turn the ignition on, turn the BCM on, and then, all right, we can see the injector running perfectly. I'm right now around 1,000 RPMs, and it sounds really, really nice. I mean, this is, like I said, this is like a brand new unit. All right, let's just connect to the scanner. Realistically, we don't really need it because they're both running. And remember, the big number that we're going to see here is my computer because it's connected to my computer. So this has nothing to do with Dan's. I don't think I even have his big number or anything. The only reason I have the computer connected and the BCM is that's the way that I can run this on idle or at higher RPMs, and we can see those values in there. You can see that one bank is like a 50 volts, the other one is 49 point something, and it's always like that. So we're going to go into code menu, display codes, all powertrain codes. It might have an anti-theft. Sometimes it does not. Yeah, you see, because this was when it fell. In that injector 4 output circuit in 5 and 7, you will see always with this computer that control side is actually a little flickering. It probably might be my connections, but it doesn't affect anything on the FICM. The FICMs are running because if you have an injector or a couple of injectors, this computer will go into what they call tractor mode, and it will shut down a complete bank. If another injector from another bank fails, or more than one injector fails, it will shut both banks 100%. And that's not the case. We can see because, like I said, we have set an oscilloscope into one side and then to the other. So this is great. Clear the code. Clear the codes. The fault code that we don't want to see is the P21. Let me just see in the FICMs. I have those. I think I have it outside. I should have diagrams, test settings, strategy, this folder, no. I'm looking for the folder codes. I should have saved it into here. Let me see if I have the wire diagrams in here. I might have put them in here. Oh, yeah. The code is P2149 or P292140. Let me just see. That might be in here. Yeah, 2146. So you can have the P2146 or the P2149 that will be completely shutting down a set of injectors, a complete bank. Or you can have, P0202, 203 to 207. That is a specific injector if it's just one injector, right? And that will be the fault codes. So I can show you the data here. Again, let me take all that out. And the Pico, so you can gather or see that information. I'm going to put the main fault codes, which is the P2149 and the P2146 on the description of this video, even though it's not really what he's in here for. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see what I do, but you can see all these fault codes in here. All right. So, and we don't have any of those fault codes. So let me put everything back in the screen. Probably better this view, right? Like that, you can see the computer running. Not sure how much you can see or hear because this microphone has a little bit of a noise cancellation. Let's read the codes again. We should have no more anti-theft faults. And we don't. And then we don't have any P2149 or P2146, which is again the faults that we are looking for. Those other faults are, like I said, just because of the computer that I have here, but everything is working perfect. So yeah, then everything is working 100%. I'm going to increase the RPM on the full probe. So you will see more activations of that blue and red channel because of the higher RPMs. That was too much. It's a little hard to control the idle here. And remember, since I don't have the accelerator pedal, it's just so much I can do. But this is just to make sure that we can run the test. So I'm going to come back to idle around 750. We can see those injector signals perfectly in both banks. I'm going to turn it off. I have to turn the VCM off and then put the ignition back on. VCM back on and then run it. And we can see both injectors running 800%. All right, so then thank you so much for trusting my Solar Diagnostic. I hope that everybody that sees this video can see and feel the transparency of my repairs. There is no other company in the world that offers this. You seeing your computer open, the components are being replaced, testing it and running. I mean, this is what I want to transfer. I want full transparency. I want to make sure that my customers and you that are watching the video feel comfortable. I know how hard is earn earn money. It's not like that we go to a tree and grab money. No. We work our life to have that money. And it cannot be taken as easy. No, I take it really hard. I know because I work very hard. And money is just minutes of your life transferring to that. So you cannot just take it as easy as granted. No. That's why I take all this time and explain this, because I want the persons to feel happy. And I even ask them, after you test this and you have it on your truck and you feel happy and everything is good, please help me out with a small testimonial, because this is what people really want to see, not just me on a video. If I then show you this in another video later on, you will see how Dan is going to be very happy and he finally is going to be able to enjoy his truck back pretty soon. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you're here on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Every time you subscribe, YouTube help, promotes my videos more and more. And that's how you find me. So thank you so much if you do so. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.